Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to the mesmerizing world of Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Now, I do believe, I was having a little bit of a hard time with this puzzle last time. However, after consulting a little bit of a guide, I realised I was right in thinking I need to be up there on the wood because, I don't know, that's just basically what I thought straight away. Now, where exactly I go, I can't be completely sure because the guide I looked at doesn't show you where to go. It just shows you what to do with the puzzle, so... There was a person up there before. Do you remember that, guys? There was, wasn't there? There was definitely like a person on a spike or something like that. So that's interesting. Or was it up here? No, I'm practically positive there was a person up there. That's very, very strange. So there's got to be some other way to get up there. That I'm not seeing. Let's have a little look outside here. Now, there's definitely no other way to go. Well, not definitely, but I'm not seeing any other way to go without backtracking in a way that feels not correct. No, I didn't think so. Alright, let's go back and have another look. Yeah, well, I can see a platform there, so it's got to be across here somewhere. I can't squeeze through there at all. This feels so strange. So where the hell is the way through? What am I missing? Can't do anything with this. Wow, this feels very, very odd. Definitely not climbing up this or this or this.
Valravan's power of illusion comes from ravens. Align the ravens to break his magic seal.
Show me what you have seen, Truth. Look how much it's changed.
Oh. Oh. No wonder. Alright. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind.
crossing into another world that looks the same but feels different. An imposter world where the forest itself is watching.
These are very, very interesting. You know, clearly a lot of these descriptions have come from people trying to describe what it feels like in some of these altered states of consciousness. Okay, so we're going to have another puzzle sort of alignment thing going on, aren't we? Oh, I see, there's another raven up there. Okay, we've got to walk through this again. Or do we have to touch the door first?
Another gate.
Another gate. You know what to do. Stay back. You have to open it. It's not safe. Don't listen to them. Listen.
To break the seal, align the ravens with the mark of Valravan.
What does it mean? Which ravens? Can't you see them?
Line up the ravens.
Line them up.
Valravan. Challenge me!
He's gone. He disappeared. Where did he go? You lost him. Where is he? It was all your fault. Valravan's soul.
Listen, focus, listen. Focus. Focus.
It was always interesting to me how, you know, this I was having sort of thoughts along what I'm about to say when I was going through similar types of experiences, how, you know, many people report, many people who experience these states of mind, they're very often interlinked with some sort of spirituality without them knowing it. Like they often refer to, you know, hidden forces or higher power or being communicated to by God or something like that. So there is very often, you know, people experience this association with some kind of religious or spiritual meaning to their mental health condition. So I mean, to me it was obvious from the beginning that it's not a mental disorder. It's a state of mind. It's, you know, it's the mind functioning in an unusual or abnormal way, and it's very closely linked to spirituality, as I've already mentioned in the other episode. So I'm just kind of looking for a way. Obviously, I've got to get up there on top of this platform. Is there a way to climb up it, or?
What is it?
I hear something.
If you hear the song of Valravan, follow it, and it will lead you to him. But be aware of his illusions. You can't always trust your eyes.
That's so cool, man. How do I get across here then? Or do I have to?
Is she lost? Wouldn't be the first time. Last winter, before the tragedy, she journeyed into the wilds of her native land, living off berries, roots, and rabbits. It's not uncommon, you see. We call such a person a Gelt. Some, like Truth, become Gelt in search of penance. Others, like Senua, to purge a curse. Those who make it back
It's like a seeker.
are forever changed.
So truth seeker, eh? Basically.
She can get up now. She can get up now. What's happening? She can get up now. How can she get out? It must be magic. Dark magic. A trick. Raven. Tricking her. Raven. How can she get out? Bait. It's him. Dark magic draws her closer. Raven's magic. It's not him. He's helping her. It's not him. It's a trick. She's doing it on her own. He's not tricking her. It's magic. It's an illusion.
It's got a lot of occult elements to this, doesn't it? So I can just walk up there now, can I? Why could I get across here? What was the point of coming across this? Look at the eyes in the walls. Yeah, it's not uncommon to feel a sense of being watched or Feeling like your environment is alive. Like there's an intelligence watching you or aware of you. From what I understand, this isn't the longest game either. Which is okay. If we get through it, we'll probably just move on to it. I don't know if we'll pick up another longer game, or maybe we'll play a couple short episodes. But I'm really enjoying the pacing of it. It feels a little bit relaxed, you know, which is good. The puzzles aren't too hard either for me, that's the sort of thing I want, really.
And we think of a shadow in the woods, a creature in the night. If only it were that simple. The worst kind comes without warning. A deep and primal signal from within. A reminder that just because you cannot see the threat, it doesn't mean that it's not already here.
This experience takes on a completely different context. If for somebody watching it as a game, or as a kind of narrative cinematic experience, in comparison to somebody, you know, who's experienced kind of mental health, whether it's psychosis or just various elements of mental health, it, you know, a lot of the language takes on a very different meaning. And it's hard, if not impossible, for somebody who hasn't experienced it should know what that is, you know. That's why I'm trying to explain a little bit of it. I'm not going to go into too much detail on it because I don't think it's very appropriate really to do it here in this kind of impersonal. I don't know anyone who's watching these videos, you know, so I don't want to go into too much detail. It's not like a one-on-one discussion, you know. Geralt of Florida, welcome. Good timing. Yeah, it's the sort of thing you've really got to want to know about. You know, if you start hearing about this stuff from somebody, you think, because you can't understand what they're talking about, most people, You know, they just brush it off, or they think it is some kind of delusion, or it must be part of the disorder or whatever. But you know, if somebody really wants to understand it and gives it enough time and enough investigation and really tries to understand it and has a sort of heightened sense of compassion, and again, the most important thing being the desire to understand what the person is experiencing, it is possible to have an insight.
Do you know what it's like to leave everything behind? Your home, loved ones, to head deep into the wilds, perhaps never to return. Senua does. Because when darkness speaks, it changes everything, turning home into a foreign land and loved ones into strangers. Exile makes sense when you realize that you were never really home in the first place.
Well, I love that, right? It's bringing up for me, like, you really struggle when you're in this situation, dealing with a mental health situation like this, so extreme as it is. You really, really struggle to make sense of what's going on, and you struggle to deal with how your world is presenting itself and how your condition is changing or influencing your perception of the world and reality, until you cross over. You really struggle with it until you cross over into the world of knowing what it is, understanding what the mind is doing and why it's functioning that way. At that point, you've entered into the realm of understanding it from a spiritual point of view, as opposed to from a physiological point of view that says there's something wrong with your brain. On the other side of the wall, it's like, well, no, your mind is more perceptive, and it's not functioning very well given the current state of your life and how you're trying to operate in the world. Because of the kind of mind you have, you need to learn to operate in a very, very different environment and design your environment to suit this mind that you have, as opposed to letting a society that doesn't understand what you're experiencing try to tell you how to live. Well, I realised more and more as I watched the last couple of videos that I made, I can't really, or I can, but I can't really talk about this stuff here on YouTube, like in this format. It needs a lot of attention. There's a lot of nuances. There's a lot of elements to explain and to go into conceptually in order to understand what the hell I'm talking about. So, I know I don't mind kind of talking about it a little bit, but it's just very difficult stuff to understand, which is why it really needs a lot of explanation. And this is not really, I'm glad this game has kind of brought it up as something I can talk about briefly, but it definitely needs a more sensitive and careful discussion, really, to go into it in depth. Alright, let's run up to the door and see what the score with the door is.
The song. Valravan's song. Where's it coming from? It's over here. It's over there. It's over here. Is that? It's over there. It's over there. No, it's here. There's two. Which one? Listen, focus, listen. It's magic. It's magic. It's an illusion. She's been in the forest like this before. This reminds her of somewhere. The forest. Where? Which forest? The forest in the wilds. The wilds. She left the wilds. She went to the wilds a long time ago. Why did she go to the wilds? She wanted to fight her own darkness. She thought she could beat her own darkness. Did she beat her darkness? No. It nearly killed her, but she tried. Druth helped her.
If it wasn't for Druth, she'd
She'd
be
be
dead.
dead. She can't beat her own darkness. She wanted to marry Dillian.
She came to beat her own darkness and marry Dillian.
But it didn't work.
She thought her curse would affect him.
She thought her curse would spread to him.
She thought she'd bring the darkness to him too. She nearly died.
She thought the curse made her tainted.
Druth helped her.
So I don't know where I'm going right now, but I'm guessing I've got to go through these things in a certain order, like these illusion gates. Is this the way I came in? This is tricky. Can't climb up there either. Okay, so we've got the song coming from over there again. Can't find this one either. I feel like maybe going through some of those gates might put some of these bridges down, but I can't be sure about that. I'm sort of guessing right now what I've got to do. Trying to guess. Like, I can't actually do anything here, can I? Just wanted to see if I could get some kind of hint again by pressing on the door. So, like I say, I think I've got to get over to him, do I? Or do I actually have to line up these symbols? I know I've had to line them all up so far, but I was getting the impression that I had to actually get over to him. Look where? No, I'm not getting it. Alright guys, I'm going to save us half an hour. I'm going to go and have a little look.
Broken. The gate is open. Open.
Okay, it was a little bit messing around. It
There's no
wasn't.
such thing as victory when it comes to the darkness. It's like it doesn't want to kill her. Yet. It will gnaw at her, biding its time. Only when she is at her weakest will it strike to kill. Will she find Dillion before her time comes?
It would have taken me a long time, I think, without the guide. Anyway. Maybe. Okay, give me a good fight. Okay, we're going.
Overcome Valravan's final illusion to face him in his keep. I know you can do it, Senua. You have the sight.
We both see the darkness. We can fight it together.
This has got to be one of the best looking games I've ever played. So I have to get up onto that nest. How do I get up there? Okay.
Speak to me, Druth. Tell me a story.
Senua, listen. I will tell you the tale of a man called Findan. The Northmen captured Findan's sister, and his father sent him to pay for her release. But they took his gold, put him in chains, and held him for a day and a night without food or water. Then they released him. I don't know why. Upon his return, his father's enemies in Erin set fire to his home. His father burnt to death, and his brother was killed. But he escaped with sorrow in his heart. His father's enemies offered redress for his loss and invited him to a feast. It was at a hall near the sea. But when he went there, they betrayed him to the Northmen, who enslaved him and took him to hell. 6 years later, his slave masters landed on the shores of Orkney, burning all before them. And into that fire, Findan made his escape. What was Findan burnt away that day. But from the flames, a new man stepped forward, and Druth was born. Druth. The man that I am now.
I was just going to say,
Though Findan never set eyes on his dear sister again, I, Druth, have found you, Senua.
I wish you could have seen my home before these dark times.
I could imagine a long time ago people being initiated into mystical schools and spiritual schools. Most likely, you know, these schools have some sort of kind of verbal teachings or written teachings that they pass on to their students. And I could imagine over the years, as people, you know, as more and more of these students gain, am I going back here? Gained their own insight, they would add to the texts, add to the stories, and you end up with a lot of different kind of symbolic stories of real people who, you know, went through the process of spiritual transformation, and so added over time to the story, to the text, to the book, which is why we find a lot of these canonical books full of hundreds and hundreds of different tales, of different accounts, of different people with their own kind of symbolic messages in each story, which we now have as mythology. Not sure if I'm going the right way here. I felt like I was, and now I feel like I'm not. But I don't really see any other way to go. Yeah, I think I might have taken a wrong turn there at some point. Okay, let's go back up again. In all honesty, I think it's one of the most difficult things from what I've encountered in people. It seems to be one of the most difficult things for people to understand and to have a conversation about when it comes to both the world of mental health and mysticism. Trying to understand the symbolism and how the symbolic story relates to what people experience in altered states of consciousness. So that kind of just loops me back around. mean, I went through this. Yeah, I see. So it did put that gate down. So what do you have to do here? You have to walk back through it like this, or okay, I'm a bit here we go. Oh, it's gone again. It's weird. I can't actually get through here though. Okay, still here. Yeah, this just brings me back down again, so now I'm a little bit stuck. Can't get down that way. No other way to go this way. Guess it's gotta be then. Is there another way to get up there that I'm not seeing? Alright, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, no, it's not them. It's, I thought I was going straight up there, so apparently I have to go through this one twice up here. Okay, here we go. So it looks like the puzzles do get a little bit harder and harder, so I've got no problem referring to a guide so we can get through it. It's either that or basically I probably wouldn't be able to continue.
The gate is open. Open.
This darkness. I know it from the wilds. It's coming back for me.
Are you still here? Are you too? Where are we? I remember. It didn't end well in the wilds. It never does. You think you can overcome the darkness, make sense of it, and once relief settles in, it strikes out of nowhere, throwing you helplessly back into the maelstrom, drowning the mind in fear, deeper, deeper, dragging you down so far into the void that maybe this time there is no coming back. But there, in the darkness,
Senua,
she remembered what he told her.
hear me. Reach out to me. Senua, take my iron mirror. Look into it, for it is a window into the underworld. Within, you will see the face of the darkness that you fear.
You look into the mirror.
If you focus, like I have taught you to, you will also see that as much as the darkness has you trapped within its veil, it too is trapped within yours.
And what do you see
Focus.
when you look into a mirror?
Focus! Focus!
I see you. I see you now. You led me to the wilds. You trapped me there.
Bastard. Bitch. Fuck, I love these enemies are amazing, man.
No, focus is building.
Focus!
Yes!
Never beat you in the wilds, did I? It was an illusion. But not this time!
The Mark of Valravan. One of the keys to the gate to Helheim. Hold it in your mind's eye.
With every battle, the darkness grows stronger. Every victory bringing her closer to defeat. Unfair, isn't it? In those dark winter nights in the wilds, there were times when she considered letting go. If it weren't for Druth, a chance encounter in the wilds, she would not have heard his stories of the Northmen. And she would not have this chance to find Dillion's soul.
I'm coming. I still hear you.
Alrighty, so now I guess we go through the main gate. And suddenly the world is bright and colourful and clear.
When she was younger, she would lay in the grass and stare at the clouds. And as she saw them, elusive, shifting faces. After a while, she could see the faces everywhere. The trees, the mountains, caves.
He's gone. He disappeared. Where did he go? You lost him. Where is he? It's all your fault. Valravan's song. Listen, focus, listen. You need to focus. Focus.
He's already dead though. What are we looking at? Oh, is he back, is he? Don't think I'm going the right way, am I? Now disappear again. I feel like we're reliving the same thing that we were before. So where was the main gate? Was it back, was it? I mean, I know these were the two. The Fire Road and the Illusion Road, right? Was it here? Wow, I can't actually remember.
I wonder. Can you see the faces too? They're there. If you look for them. Senua.
Mother? Senua, you have the sight. Just like I do. Once you can see into the underworld and all the souls within it will see you. Don't be afraid when they speak to you. I will always be here to guide you.
Did you see her? That was her mother, Galina. She was a priestess, a healer. She taught Senua to see the weave that binds the world together. And it was beautiful. It was a time before the darkness. But when it did come, it first came for her mother.
It's one of the things.
Still sees her face from time to time, hidden in the world. Like she's still watching over. He misses her so much.
So what she was experiencing just then, and as she said, when she was younger, she used to stare up at the clouds and see the faces. It's a very, very stark reminder of the reality of the magic that exists in this world when it's embraced, and when one learns to navigate the mind that has these types of perceptions. The magic of life is beyond description. You know, when you sense things and perceive things and know things and have experiences that not many people can understand or even wish to understand, there's the magical element of it, and the beautiful and powerful element of it. And at the same time, on the other side of the picture, when you can't embrace it, or you don't embrace it, or the world around you tries to tell you that it's not real, or just crush the spirit of wonder and the spirit of fascination. And when the material world is so disinterested in those types of experiences, or even flat out says that they're wrong, that they shouldn't be happening, then you're dealing with the world of darkness, where there is no magic, where there is only, for you, a void and a sense of being wrong and being alone in a world that doesn't understand you and doesn't want to. And not even that, but a world that will sometimes actively oppose, suppress and crush your own expression because you are so wrong in its viewpoint, or in the eyes of the world. Not the whole world, obviously. There are people who do get it, but there are a lot more people that don't get it. So it's a dual reality. It's quite a tricky thing to navigate. Okay, are we back where we're supposed to be now? Okay, so this was the main... Oh, have I just... Okay, I'm actually a bit lost now. Again. I feel like these were the two doors. No, were they? No, I don't think it was. Maybe I've just gone the wrong way through here. Do I have to keep backtracking a little bit? I'll keep going and I'll make this video a little bit longer. I just don't know where I'm going right now. I'm trying to find my way back to the original gate. I went down here, maybe I took a wrong turn, I must have done. Yeah, the more you're encouraged to suppress these types of experiences within your consciousness through various means, the more disjointed your perception of your reality becomes, and the more you're hiding from. You know, like we had the reflection a little moment ago about looking into a mirror, and essentially that means looking deep within yourself to find the source of these disturbances, to know them, to not hide from them, to not mask them, to see them. And of course, if you don't do that, then you're choosing the path towards darkness. And you know, as it's labelled here, darkness as it's labelled in this narrative. And that's a terrifying, horrifying experience. And I can only say that I was lucky. Again, I was lucky that I managed to discover a model of practice and a way of life that allowed me to unlock my mind and to dive deeply into it before I had fallen into the trap of believing the materialist view of mental health. I found the spiritual perspective upon physical and mental health before I was ensnared within, like I say, the materialist view. What is this thing up here?
Ymir was a frost giant, a being of darkness, and all his sons and grandsons were dark after him. Of his daughters and granddaughters, some were monstrous, but others fair. But there was another who came from the ice, Buri. In shape, he was like a man, big and powerful. His son, Bor, took a fair giant to be his wife, and they had 3 sons. Odin was the eldest, and the Northmen hold him to be the foremost of the gods, the All-Father.
Norse mythology. Yeah, again, anyone who has looked into various legends and tales of mythology throughout the ages, and there are hundreds from around the world, there are many, many common elements to all of them. Many of the same type, much of the same type of message and meaning. Even, you know, the very structure of how the gods operated and the realms that they were in and the types of expressions of the realms, what types of realms they were.
With the mark of Valravn and the mark of Surt, you may cross the bridge over the River of Knives to Helheim.
Awesome. So I'm quite happy to stick with the guide.
Waiting. She has to open the gate. No, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. Don't open the gate. Don't. She's done it. It's so dark. It's dark. The dark. Only the dead may cross. Only the dead may cross into hell.
Truth? Anyone?
There is no one here but me.
Not you.
Did you think that I would let you go? That you lost me back in the wilds? I will never let you go. You can't get rid of me. I am your shadow. And I will be watching when you draw your last dying gasp.
I'm not ready to die.
You will be when you see what they did to your dear beloved.
Damien!
In this waking nightmare, where all dreams come true, you searched for control, a way to pull through. When you were in love, you left him in tears, to smother your furies and banish your fears. But in darkness they came, through stormy black seas they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams? And now that you're home, he's so far away. They've taken his soul. To these gods you cannot pray. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through his darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. You fought for love unspoilt by your darkness within. You fought for your dreams. Now there's no way to win. In the head of his corpse lies the seat of his soul. So you must carry his vessel to bring him back home.
You did this! No!
They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through this darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. The darkness touched you. Everyone could see it in the hollows of your eyes. A gaze averted from life. You ran from it but brought it nearer. Led it to him. An endless suffering, worse than death. And you wanted to surrender, abandon and to find peace with the gods. No. The darkness won't allow it. So you will walk into the lair of the beast. Look it in the eye, and you will go to war. This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left.
Very cool. And with that, we'll bring this episode to an end. So, I'm quite happy to stick with the guide when it's necessary in order to continue to make progress with this game. I definitely want to see this one through to its end, and I know, as I said, it's not the longest game. Somewhere in the region of about 7 or 8 hours apparently. And I'll take my time with it. You know, I'm not going to rush it. We do have a whole week to play it, but we might be done with it in a, you know, sort of halfway through the week. And we'll find something else to play if that happens, but I definitely don't want to rush this one. This is, so far, probably one of the best games that I've played in terms of visuals and the feel of it and the story, the narrative. And personally, and this is where you know, a lot of viewers will probably differ and maybe have a differing view and opinion, but with regards to this channel, you know, in terms of what they want to see, and that's fine. They can, you know, there's other stuff around for them to watch, and maybe just don't watch this series, maybe watch some of the other ones on the channel. But you know, these topics in games like this that relate back to human reality and human experience, for me, that's where it's at. You know, like if the world if the internet went offline, if gaming suddenly disappeared, if the electricity shuts down, it's just you and your mental health, my friend. You know, you and your spirituality, you and your life, you the viewer watching, and me, the player, the person. And so if the games in any way hint or communicate with or connect with the real person, then that's where it's at for me with regards to this channel. And I understand that's definitely not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people are probably here just for the game, you know. But like I say, if it's going to teach us, if it's going to remind us, if it's going to communicate with us about some true element of our own experience or human experience, then absolutely that's where I want to be putting my attention, because it's that you carry with you when the game ends. And in my opinion, if a game can do that, it makes a great game. You know, sometimes you do want to escape your reality and play games, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I do it often. But again, if we come across a game like this that hints at something real within us and something meaningful in the scope of human experience, I'm absolutely going to give that all of the attention that I can afford to give it, and to cultivate that heart on this channel, because that's what it's about for me. And I think for some of you too, it will be about that. I think some of you will resonate with that. Maybe many of you don't, and that's fine. You know, feel free to skip ahead or whatever you want to do. But anyway, so far so good with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and I hope they make another one. I hope this is like a game that gets another, like the developers make another game along this line, the line of this game, because I've never quite played. There are other games I've played that have kind of touched upon it, but not with this level of polish, not with this level of detail and beauty, and just every element of it so far is amazing. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this episode of Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, and I do hope you will join me for the next one. Goodbye for now.